Morning everyone, my name's Harry O'Neill. I'm from, as you can see, from Solibri, based in the UK. Before I start, because this presentation could come across a little bit salesy sometimes, so I just wanted to start off first of all by just expressing a little bit about what we're about in the UK and over here. Solibri, as you'll see, is part of the Nemetschek group. We also have our own Solibri group internally as well. The UK and Ireland is the business that I manage, and we run it very separately. We run it along with group strategy, but we run it very separately as a business. So we love to get involved in events like this, and we're very social, and we like to meet people and gain ideas and come up with different groups and events and things. So as I say, if this presentation comes across a little bit salesy, then my apologies, but we are also we're all about also meeting new people and gaining ideas and sharing thoughts and stuff as well. So I'll leave a few business cards behind at the end as well, so if anyone wants to take anything and get in contact afterwards, then please do. So just before I start as well, can I just ask for a show of hands as to if you've heard of Solibri before today? Most people, and seen Solibri or used it? Okay, good. I like it to be fairly new to most people. So as I say, I'll just go into a few bits here. So we are now owned by the Nemetschek group, who also own some companies like ArchiCAD or Graphisoft, if you know them, Bluebeam. They're quite a well-established group, but as I say, we're left as our own business. Nemetschek were founded by this man here. They call him the Professor. I learned that when I joined. Tried to address him by his first name, and we'll ignore that. So yeah, they've got a vision, and there's a group strategy that's now been released to do with common data environments and how we can all start to collaborate better as a group. So Nemetschek they kind of sit in the background, but they are very heavily backing what we do, and they're invested in our future and our customers as well. So it's good to know that they're behind us. So just to give an idea, I won't read them all out, but you can see some of the figures there as to the size of the Nemetschek group and some of the companies that they own. We are now starting to, as I say, do a lot more strategic events and products and services with them. So more stuff to come on those as well in the events that we'll be doing in the future. It'd be great to see some of you guys there. So Solibri, we have locations in quite a few different areas. Head office, we were originally based in Finland before being purchased by Nemetschek. We have a good presence in the UK and across in the States as well. Globally, we have customers, but we are pretty much the front runners in terms of the Solibri group in the UK and Ireland. So we're trying to lead the way, if you like, in what we're doing. So this is one that they give us to put out again as part of the Nemetschek group. Again, I'm not going to read it out because it's quite wordy, but we like to think that we're leading a changing and ever evolving industry with some of the stuff that we're doing. So as I say, we're trying to run as a company that talks to customers and the people around us, and some of our partners and affiliates that are going to come up with ideas and give us new stuff to work with and run with. So if you don't know what Solibri does, or you haven't seen it before, we're described across Europe as a clash detection tool. I get told off for selling us as more of a consultative company over here, because I think they say that it slows down what we're actually doing. But we're kind of trying to move on from just basic clash detection, and that's what Solibri is all about. It runs from custom rules that you can, we can move on from just seeing if physical intersections between components in a model. We're looking at spaces, and Andy mentioned about the PAS Part 6 that came out last week or the week before with health and safety. So looking at configuring things with risk ratings and custom parameters from Revit, so that we can start to check against data that's in the model, rather than just doing sort of basic clash detection, as I say. So is it enough is the question that we're asking, why we're driving this way. Is it enough to just do clash detection? Probably not. We have a lot of healthcare customers who are looking at, as I say, corridor widths. Can a hospital bed go down one way with staff walking back the other way and things like that? So we're trying to think more about further ways of checking and assuring the quality of our data and models that we're creating. So what do we do? Again, the next slide, I'm not going to read it out, all of it, because it's quite wordy again, but essentially we are an IFC model checker. So most people are working with IFC or creating IFCs from Revit or whatever their authoring tool is. So we can check IFC files, we can check anything within the IFC file, so as I say, data, parameters, right down to single components or naming schemes, whatever it is, we can, as long as it's in the file, we can check for it. And that then folds back around to using this, the third point down that you can see there, the BCF, this BIM collaboration format. Is everybody familiar with BCF, BIM collaboration format? Yeah? It's, for those of you that don't know, I try to describe it as the IFC for model checking, if you like, or for quality assurance. So it's a way that you can export your checking results or the issues that you found. You can then send them directly back to the authoring tool using BCF, and whoever the designer is or whoever's using Revit or whatever it is can open up that clash directly in Revit and see the comments and what's actually going wrong physically in front of them there, make the changes and then send back as an updated BCF format. The perception, I think sometimes, or the way it has been in the past, and we still have customers that do this, but to have an Excel spreadsheet, and if you're looking at a clash and trying to find exactly where it is, it's difficult sometimes to find exactly the clash that someone's talking about. So BCF allows you to go straight to that clash within the authoring tool, from where it's been reported. So Solibri works off of 4 different concepts. I'll kind of glide through them now. So this concept number 1 is quality assure any real or inferred data. So you can see this list here, and I'll bring these points up as well. So we work from rules or rule sets. So as I say, we can check any data against any conditions. So as long as you can describe it, you can, with this sort of drag and drop functionality, you can create a rule with some parameters to come up with some clashes. You can run a model comparison, so you can have revision 1, report out the clashes or the issues that you found, receive back the revision 2, and you can run a rule to say, tell me what's been added, what's been removed, and what's been modified since revision 1 was received, and then report against that if you want to. And we can federate various different models together from different disciplines across a project. So one example, I'm not allowed to say the name of the project, but we've got 300 different models coming in from different disciplines, being federated into one and then checked against. The initial report was 6,000 clashes. We won't go into all of that and how long it took to report out, but it was, it's a good case study to use. So concept 2 is looking at selecting and reporting any real or inferred data again. So we can create custom classifications inside Solibri Model Checker. We can use what we call the selection basket. So select certain areas of a model. You can categorize to what you actually want to create or clash report against. It doesn't have to be the whole model all the time. And we can also do information takeoffs. I found out a couple of weeks ago that Solibri was originally built as an information takeoff tool, and they brought the sort of model checking side and clash detection in a bit later on. So the Kobe export and the quantity takeoff inside Solibri is quite powerful. So again, just talking about IFC, we work with IFC, so we can accept data from any model-based software which exports out IFC. Not too much needs to be said about that. We're an IFC model checker, and we can check the data that's in And this fourth concept, I'll bring up everything on here. So roles in Solibri are really important. We work from roles and we work from rule sets. Those of you that don't know, the roles are allow us to predefine and structure the way that our company works. So if we have a QA team of 15 different people, or it might be our design team that are checking their own models that they're creating, we can create a role that says you are using Solibri for this purpose. So it defines the rules that you use, the information takeoff definitions, the COBE format that you use, everything to carry you through. So that's one of the most important concepts that we use with Solibri is the roles and allowing that to define the way that we work. Just a quick overview of the model checker workflow then. So we can see here we can import an architectural model, for example, and that becomes a Solibri model, a .smc file when we bring it in. We can then bring in the structural model on top of that and federate it together. We've got the HVAC models and the electrical models, so they all become one big Solibri model. We can then visualize it and fly around, and we can walk through anything that we want to do. We can check for all of these things. We've got the integrity of the data, we can coordinate and classify, we've got checking against compliance, and we've got version control in there as well. And we can realise the potential issues that we've got there. Communicate that back, as I was saying before, in BCF format. So until we've got a fully clean and completed model, we can keep repeating that process and keep reporting, and we've got an audit trail of that. And then we can do our information takeoff, and we've got some reliable quantity information there, and of course we can export some COBE data from that as well, and custom sheets, whatever you want to do. Who do we help? Not really much on this. I'm just some of the names of the people that we've been working with there. A lot of these UK based, but we've got a growing customer base in Ireland now, and as I say, getting involved with these events is great for us. It's what we're keen to do. So just to summarise then, if I'm boring anyone, so how do we deliver value? We're managing risk, improving profit, hopefully, maintaining control through those roles and the rule sets that we use, and we've got an audit record there as well. And thank you.
Thank you.